Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jagopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari. Jagopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari. Jasodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Jasodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Jasodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Jamuna Tira Vanachari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jayo Radha Krishna Chandra, Radhe.
Jaya Radha Krishna Chandra, Radha Krishna Chandra, Radhe.
Jayo Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Jayo Nitai Gauranga.
Jaya Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Nitai Gauranga, Jaya Nitai Gauranga.
Jayo Jayo Prabhupada, Prabhupada.
Jaya Prabhu.
Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajakacarya Ashtotra Shatashi Srimad Divine Grace Abhay Charan Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajakacarya Ashtotra Shatashi Srimad Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Goswami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Granthraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naranchaiva Narotamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 16th chapter, text number 5. Yannamani cha granati Yannamani cha granati Loko britye kritagasi So asadhuvadas tatkirtim Antitvachamivamaya Yannamani cha granati Loko britye kritagasi So asadhuvadas tatkirtim Antitvachamivamaya Yannamani cha granati Loko britye kritagasi So asadhuvadas tatkirtim Antitvachamivamaya. Word to word meaning, Yat, of whom, Namani, the names, Cha, and, Grinhati, take, Lokaha, people in general, Britye, when a servant, Kritagasi, has committed something wrong, Sa, that, Asadhuvadaha, blame, Tat, of that person, Kirtim, the reputation, Anti, destroys, Tvacham, the skin, Iva, as, Amayaha, leprosy. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. A wrong act committed by a servant leads people in general to blame his master, just as a spot of white leprosy on any part of the body pollutes all of the skin. Please repeat the translation. A wrong act committed by a servant leads people in general to blame his master, just as a spot of white leprosy on any part of the body pollutes all of skin. Purport. A Vaishnava therefore should be fully qualified. As stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam, anyone who has become a Vaishnava has developed all the good qualities of the demigods. There are 26 qualifications mentioned in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. A devotee should always see that his Vaishnava qualities increase with the advancement of his Krishna consciousness. A devotee should be blameless because any offense by the devotee is a scar on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The devotee's duty is to be always conscious in his dealings with others, especially with another devotee of the Lord. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Devastarne. जय श्री कृष्णा चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे यन्नामानि च गृह्णाति लोको भृत्य कृतागसी सो असाधुवादस्तत्कीर्तिम अन्तित्वचमिवामयः. A wrong act committed by a servant leads people in general to blame his master, just as a spot of white leprosy on any part of the body pollutes all of the skin. So, Lord Vishnu who went to the spot of the commotion or the dispute between his doorkeepers and the four Kumaras. First, he accepted that it was a mistake committed by the doorkeepers. In fact, in the previous verse, we saw the Lord is seeking forgiveness from the four Kumaras. And in this verse, the Lord is saying that it doesn't matter who committed the mistake. Because it has happened, people who are under me have committed this mistake. So, I am liable to be criticized. So, it is definitely true. Just as in this material world we can see how people say from Bhilai, somebody gets some big award, somebody plays for India's team, then all the Bhilai people, what they tell? This person is from my town. Right? So recently I was seeing that when ISRO sent the rocket to the moon, that time the TV camera people, some village in Madhya Pradesh, and that village fellow, he is an employee of ISRO, and that entire village is saying, my village employee was involved in the rocket. They want to take credit. You see. Supposing in that village there was a big daku, what will the village people do? No, we don't even want to tell that he is from our village. Where there is positive thing, they want to take credit. But when there is something negative, they don't want to. But still, even if they don't want to take credit, I remember I was in Vrindavan in 2003, 2004, like that. So at that time, Veerappan had kidnapped one cinema actor. So they knew I am a South Indian. प्रभु जी आपकी जगह का वीरप्पन पूरा न्यूज में छा गया है. Veerappan, where is he? He's not from my place. He's somewhere else. But people, wherever you are, they will identify you like that. Similarly, when I used to go, after I came to Chhattisgarh, when I used to go to Bangalore, oh, in your place, full Naxalites, no? They'll kill people, no, there. I said, no, Bhilai is very far from Naxalites and there's no Naxalite here. But you see, you are identified by what is happening in that society, what is happening in that place. So obviously, Lord Vishnu here is saying, because Jaya Vijaya are his servants, so Vishnu is saying, they're committing a mistake, means my name is also affected. I am also liable. When I say liable, I am also remembering one more incident. Why I am saying this? As devotees, sometimes we say, no, I didn't do. Prabhu, it's not my mistake. We are all responsible. All of us are responsible for anything that happens. So, we must be spotless. Just like here, it is saying, just a spot on a white leprosy on any part of the body pollutes all of the skin. Just that leukoderma who have the disease leukoderma, white patch comes, no? Just see, I remember long time back, opposite when I was not in the temple, when I was staying with my parents. So opposite my house, there was a family who were living. And they had a daughter and who was of marriageable age. So somebody came to see her for marriage. So after seeing marriage, my mother asked that girl's mother, what happened? Did anything settle? So that lady told, no, it didn't settle. Why? Because her father, in his legs, had a small leukoderma patch. So that boy said, because leukoderma is a genetic disease. It can transfer from father to daughter or mother to son, like that, because it's a genetic disease. So they said, this is a very dangerous thing. So tomorrow if my son marries your daughter and say after 10 years, 15 years, if she gets leukoderma. So you see, when we are reading this translation, here it is saying, a wrong act committed by a servant leads people in general to blame his master, just as a spot of white leprosy on any part of the body pollutes all of the skin. People are so waiting to find some defect. So our character, our behavior should be so perfect. This is the point that is being stressed here. We need to be very, very careful. Otherwise, we will all be implicated. We will all become liable. Another example which I remember very nicely, when I was in Vrindavan, we had somebody had given me one Santro car to use. And once in the Vrindavan winter fog, my driver, he did one accident. Because in the fog we could not see, he went and hit, and that front bonnet, everything was spoiled. So then subsequently we took that vehicle for repair. And when we took for repair, in that showroom, I sent it the vehicle for repair. So that time the person who was making an estimate, made an estimate. He said it's around 25,000 rupees to repair. I said okay. Then he gave me a offer. That man, he's not the owner of that showroom, but he's a worker of that showroom. So he made an offer to me saying that, don't do this repair in this showroom. He's working, he's an employee of that showroom, and he's telling me, don't do the repair in this showroom. You go to one more place. I will facilitate you. It will work out cheaper for you. So for me, what? I want to reduce my cost. So I said, okay, very good. Let's do it like that. And he told me that this repair work, I will get it done it will be shown as it is done in this showroom only, but the scope of work will reduce. Like that, something he told like that. Anyway, I told okay. So then he told me, give me some advance, some money for repairing that work. I said okay. So from me he took 15,000 rupees as advance. And then finally, after 15-20 days, the work was done. And after the work was done, when I went to collect my vehicle, I called this fellow. I told he's the vehicle. He said, come after 3 days. Again after 3 days I called. He said, come after 2 days. Then after 2 days I called. He said, I am going out of station. You come after 3 days. Then after 3 days again I called. His phone is coming constantly. Not reachable. Not this one, nothing. So then I just directly went to the showroom. And when I went to the showroom, they said, oh, your car is ready, you can take the car. Then I said, give me the car. Then they gave me the bill. They gave me 25,000 rupees bill. So then I said, I've already paid 15,000. But when I gave the 15,000 rupees, first he didn't give me a bill. I said, I want a bill for that. Then he went inside. In one letterhead, he wrote 15,000 rupees received, like that. He gave me the bill. I said, okay. So I told that out of 25,000, I have already paid 15,000. So balance, you should give me only 10,000 bill. So then in our accounts, it's showing 0. You have not paid any money. So I said, no, I have paid 15,000. So I showed him the receipt. Then they said, this is not our receipt. I was shocked. I said, it has been given to me at your office. So like this, there was a dispute. That owner said, this is not our bill. You do whatever you want. You have to pay the full amount for me to release the vehicle. I said, okay. I didn't know what to do. So I went back to Vrindavan. Then some people whom I know, I spoke to them. I told this is the case. Then that person introduced me to one judge. He's a civil court judge. So I told him this is whatever. He said, no problem. We'll go there. So we went to that showroom. And then we talked and showed him that. And then the judge said to that man, see, he has paid you, he has got. Then he said, this is not our bill. And that owner showed the actual bill of their shop. Now, I am an outside person. I do not know what is your shop's bill. That was my contention. Whatever your employee gave me, that. Then that owner told, like me, another 5-6 people he has taken money. The point I am telling this story is for making a point. You know what the judge told him? The judge told him, this employee of yours, he has cheated. Obviously, the owner has not cheated. The employee has cheated. But because the employee is your employee and the incident has happened at your place, you are also liable. You are liable to, if you don't release the vehicle and minus that 15,000 rupees, then there will be a court case against you. So you see, it is not just me personally doing some act. If anyone among us also does something, we are also liable. We are all liable for anything that we commit. Just like karma has an effect on everybody. There is a collective karma, there is an individual karma. Collectively, many people do sinful activities. That sinful activities effect is also equally felt or to proportionally felt among everybody also. So many incidents I can recollect. When I am talking like this, immediately many other incidents are coming. So we must be very careful both at an individual level as well as at a collective level. So how we can minimize this kind of thing? Prabhupada in the purport has very nicely explained this. Okay, we can easily point out the defects, but how to overcome the defects? Prabhupada in the purport is fully dedicated for that. Prabhupada says, a Vaishnava therefore should be fully qualified. As stated in the Bhagavatam, anyone who has become a Vaishnava has developed all good qualities of the demigods. There are 26 qualifications mentioned in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. A devotee should always see that his Vaishnava qualities increase with the advancement of his Krishna consciousness. A devotee should be blameless because any offense by the devotee is a scar on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The devotee's duty is to be always conscious in his dealing with others, especially with another devotee of the Lord. So we must be very careful. What are these 26 qualities that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is talking in the Chaitanya Charitamrita? Let's have a look at it. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, the devotee's desirable qualities are described to be 26 in number. They are stated as follows. First is, he is very kind. He does not quarrel with anyone. He accepts Krishna consciousness as the highest goal of life. He is equal to everyone. No one can find fault in his character. He is magnanimous, mild, and always clean, internally and externally. He does not profess to possess anything in the material world. He is a benefactor to all living entities. He is peaceful and is a soul completely surrendered to Krishna. He has no material desire to fulfill. He is meek and humble, always steady, and has conquered the sensual activities. He does not eat more than required to maintain body and soul together. He is never mad after material identity. He is respectful to all others and does not demand respect for himself. He is very grave, very compassionate, and very friendly. He is poetic. He is expert in all activities and he is silent in nonsense. Similarly, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, 25th chapter, verse 21, the qualifications of the saintly persons are mentioned. It is said that it is said there that a saintly person eligible to enter into the kingdom of God is very tolerant and very kind to all living entities. He is not partial. He is kind both to human beings and to animals. He is not such a fool that he will kill a goat Narayana to feed a human Narayana. He is very kind to all living entities. Therefore, he has no enemy. He is very peaceful. These are the qualities of persons who are eligible to enter into the kingdom of God. That such a person gradually becomes liberated and enters the kingdom of God is confirmed in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami lists the following 26 qualities of a Vaishnava. He is very kind to everyone. He does not make anyone his enemy. He is truthful. He is equal to everyone. No one can find any fault in him. He is magnanimous. He is mild. He is always clean. He is without possessions. He works for everyone's benefit. He is very peaceful. He is always surrendered to Krishna. He has no material desires. He is very meek. He is steady. He controls his senses. He does not eat more than required. He is not influenced by the Lord's illusory energy. He offers respect to everyone. He does not desire any respect for himself. He is very grave. He is merciful. He is friendly. He is poetic. He is expert. He is silent. So, total 26 qualities. How can we achieve, how can we get all these qualities? That also Prabhupada very nicely says. He says, it is to be, the Srimad Bhagavatam 2nd canto 3rd chapter verse 24 also states that if a person does not cry or exhibit bodily changes after chanting the holy name of God without offense, it is to be understood that he is hard-hearted and therefore his heart does not change. Even after he chants the holy name of God, Hare Krishna, these bodily changes can take place due to ecstasy when we offenselessly chant the holy name of God, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, there has to be a conscious effort to behave appropriately, to behave in the right way. We must also make effort in that direction. We have to be conscious of our behavior. That's why Rupa Goswami says, Vacho Vegam, Manaso Vegam, Krodho Vegam, Jivva Vegam. What is the end? One who can Udro Pasta Vegam, and then he says, Etan Vegan Dhira. He is considered to be a Dhira. Etan Veshan Vishayeta Dhiraha. One who can overcome the urges of the mind, urges of speech, urges of manaha, vacha, kriya, all these kind of things, actions. He is to be considered a very sober person. How we can be able to control? Because if we control our consciousness, if we keep our consciousness in the right frame, then automatically all these things will fall into place. And Hare Krishna Maha Mantra is the medicine for us to program our consciousness in the right way. Our morning sadhana is the perfect recipe. A properly done morning sadhana, we have chanted very nicely with full attention, we will easily experience many of the qualities that are being mentioned in this purport. That reference to the 26 qualities. Because devotion, Hare Krishna Mahamantra chanting awakens our devotional nature. And when devotion is at, see, all negative qualities are because of material association, asuric tendencies. So when devotion towards the Lord is awakened, automatically you develop daivic qualities. So any devotional activity, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Vandanam, Padasevanam, all these activities, when you actually engage, immediately all these negative aspects, they completely get neutralized. Krishna consciousness awakens all good qualities in a person. Whereas material consciousness, that's why only when you are Krishna conscious can you have good qualities. Otherwise, so-called qualities also are not really qualities. That's why it says, Yasyasti bhaktir bhagavati akinchana sarvair gunaistatra samasate suraha haraba bhaktasya kuto madguna. If you are not a bhakta of Hari, then those qualities have no relevance, no meaning. Whereas a devotee of the Lord, even if he doesn't have apparently these qualities, he is to be considered a Sura. Sura means he is like a Devata. He has all the qualities of the demigods. Because those qualities come because of the refinement of our consciousness. When we say refinement of our consciousness, the devotee is subservient. He is in the mood of servant consciousness of Krishna. Whereas material consciousness is, he is on the platform of false ego. He cannot exhibit any qualities. And even if he exhibits, it will only be an exhibition. It will be not a natural way of his consciousness, not be a natural behavior. So if we want all these kind of qualities that we are talking about, as mentioned in this, then we have to work on our devotion. We have to try and increase the devotional components to bring in these qualities into our consciousness, into our being state. Bring in more Shravanam, bring in more Kirtanam, bring in more Smaranam, bring in more, add those components into our life. Bring in those various components of the Navaveda Bhakti into our life. Then we will experience, we will demonstrate automatically all these qualities. No devotion, no quality. There's no question of that. It's as simple as that. The formula is devotion is equal to quality. If there is no devotion, absolutely it is not possible. Without devotion, if some quality comes also, that quality is actually quite dangerous. Like, for example, here it is saying that devotee becomes very skillful. His abilities also increase. Prabhupada says in one of the qualities is that he is expert. When Prabhupada is just saying he is expert in everything. Like somebody is an expert manager. Somebody is an expert technical person. Somebody is an expert philosopher. Actually, when you become devotionally strong, you become expert in everything. So similarly, in the material world, there are many experts. Like Prabhupada gives the example, Ravana is an expert. Hiranyakashipu is an expert. Expert in what? Expert in terrorizing others. Terrorist. Terrorist is also a good manager. Terrorist is also technically strong. All are there in him also. But ultimately, his purpose is to terrorize. Whereas when a devotee, when Lord Ramachandra is an expert, Ramachandra's expertise gives what? Ramachandra's expertise gives happiness to everybody. Ravana and Hiranyakashipu's expertise gives pain to everybody. So do we want the expertise of Hiranyakashipu or do we want the expertise of Lord Rama? Krishna is expert. Like we say, Krishna has got so much, 64 divine qualities. Krishna's expertise gives joy. Whereas a Rakshasa's expertise gives everyone fear, gives everyone pain. When Krishna comes, Krishna brings Bhajavu Mana Shri Nanda Nandana. When you do bhajana of Shri Nanda Nandana, then what happens? Abhaya Charana Ravindra. You develop Abhaya qualities. You develop fearlessness. Supposing, as soon as we say, oh, Krishna is coming, oh, so joyful. We are waiting. The altar is, when in the morning, we are waiting. Oh, now the curtains will open and I will have the Divya Darshan of Krishna. So nice to see. And when you see the profusely decorated deities fresh in the morning, very nicely decorated, your heart becomes filled with happiness. Melodious kirtan, everything becomes, we become so happy. Similarly, if that inside one Vikrita Rakshasa is coming, and if we see, what will happen? We become scared. Yesterday, my driver was telling me, when we were coming back in the car, so he told me, Prabhu, he has got a small child. My child, I asked, what is this? He said, Durga Puja Pandal. So I saw some ghostly figures and all standing in that Pandal. So he said, Prabhu, I took my child, Jurassic Park and all those things they have put there. My child went inside, he got frightened. Chalo, chalo, please let us go from here. You see, sometimes in Kali Yuga, people want to experience that kind of pain. They want to go and get pain. There are many incidents like that. They have become accustomed to pain. Just like you see, people go and drink liquor, such dirty. If somebody drinks liquor and comes in front of you, you will feel what a smell you are bringing here. Don't come here. Don't come near me. You're smelling, you're reeking of alcohol. That smell is so obnoxious. If you see alcohol, it's now different from what we do, varnish and painting. When we do, people drink that. And even how does it taste? Very bitter, hopeless. But people are habituated to drink that. They feel, wow. If they don't get it, they feel so miserable. Because they have made it their habit. Prabhupada gives this example. The worm in the stool. The worms love to live in the stool. Just imagine what kind of consciousness that worm must have developed. He feels so happy in an obnoxious place, he wants to live. Because he has become conditioned like that. Similarly, like for example, our Prabhupada says we must, like Shankaracharya says, when this body is made up of mala, mutra and all these kind of things. So why are we attracted to enjoy this body? After all, this body is nothing but mala and mutra. It's a very, very dirty thing. So let us not run behind these malamutra substances, which is what this body is made up of. Let us develop a higher taste. See, Srila Prabhupada has given us such wonderful examples and experiences which we can anchor to build in our life, rather than looking for mundane, totally dirty experiences of this material world. Let us look for uplifting and liberating spiritual experiences rather than experiences which will bind us to this, which will bind and perpetuate our existence in this material world. We'll stop here if there's any question, comments. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की, Prabhupada की.